In the vast, untamed heart of 12th-century Mongolia, amidst the unforgiving steppes and towering mountains, a legend was whispered into existence. A child, born grasping a blood clot, a powerful omen of a destiny intertwined with war and dominion. This was the prophecy surrounding Temujin, a boy who would one day command an empire stretching further than any before or since. His journey from humble origins to become Genghis Khan, the universal ruler, is one of the most astonishing tales of ambition, struggle, and unparalleled conquest in human history. Roughly around 1162 AD, near the sacred Burkhan Khaldan mountain, Temujin entered a world defined by the brutal realities of nomadic life. He was the son of Yesugei, a chieftain of the Borjigin clan, a man of some influence among the fragmented Mongol tribes. Though born into a leadership lineage, Temujin's early years offered little hint of the colossal power he would one day wield. The steppes were a crucible, forging character through harsh winters, constant tribal skirmishes, and the ever-present threat of scarcity and betrayal. But the precarious balance of power on the steppes was often maintained through violence and treachery. Yesugei, Temujin's father, met a grim fate, poisoned by rival Tatars when Temujin was barely 9 years old. This sudden tragedy plunged Temujin's family, including his mother Holan, his brothers, and half-brothers, into immediate peril. With their protector gone, the clan abandoned them, fearing the burden of supporting a chieftain's widow and his young, vulnerable children. Their survival became a daily struggle against nature and hostile neighbors. Abandoned and ostracized, the family was forced to subsist on the barren land. The once proud family of a chieftain was reduced to hunting marmots, rodents, and foraging for roots, a stark testament to the harsh, unforgiving reality of steppe life. Temujin learned the bitter lessons of survival firsthand: self-reliance, resourcefulness, and the constant vigilance required to outwit hunger and enemies. These formative years, stripped bare of privilege, instilled in him a profound understanding of loyalty and the devastating consequences of its absence. Temujin's troubles escalated when he was captured by the Taichiyud, a rival tribe. They saw him as a potential threat, the son of Yesugei, a man they once respected but now feared. He was enslaved, shackled with a wooden collar, forced into servitude. This period of captivity was a profound humiliation, a direct challenge to his very spirit. But even in the depths of despair, a glimmer of hope appeared, an act of unexpected kindness that would prove instrumental in his escape and future destiny. One night, a sympathetic Taichiyud guard, perhaps moved by Temujin's plight or sensing his inherent spirit, decided to help. The guard loosened Temujin's wooden collar, offering him a chance at freedom. Under the cloak of darkness, Temujin seized the opportunity, making a desperate dash for survival. His escape was not just a physical act of liberation, it was a psychological turning point, cementing his resolve never to be powerless again. It taught him the value of unexpected allies and the enduring power of hope. Upon his escape, Temujin, now a young man, began the arduous task of rebuilding his life and influence. He understood that survival and power in the fragmented Mongol world depended on alliances. One of his earliest and most significant bonds was with Jamuka, a member of his own clan, whom he declared his blood brother. This oath of *** was a sacred vow of loyalty, a relationship of deep trust and mutual support that would both elevate and later challenge Temujin profoundly. Another crucial alliance was forged with Torul, the powerful Khan of the Kharite tribe. Torul had been an ally of Temujin's father, Yesugei, and offered the young Temujin protection and guidance, acting as a father figure. This relationship provided Temujin with access to resources and the political weight of a powerful Khan, allowing him to consolidate his own small following and gain legitimacy in the eyes of other tribal leaders. These early alliances laid the groundwork for his future rise, demonstrating his innate ability to connect and lead. The fragile peace of Temujin's burgeoning community was shattered when his young wife, Bort, was abducted by a rival tribe, the Merkits. This act of aggression was a profound personal insult and a challenge to Temujin's burgeoning authority. Her abduction became the catalyst for his first major military campaign. He rallied his allies, Jamuka and Torul, transforming a personal quest for vengeance into a joint military expedition, uniting their forces under his command for the first time on a grand scale. This campaign against the Merkits was a pivotal moment. It showcased Temujin's emerging leadership and strategic acumen. While primarily a rescue mission, it served as a practical proving ground for his ability to coordinate disparate tribal forces. Success in this endeavor not only reunited him with Bor but also solidified his reputation among the Mongols. It was a step on the long, arduous path towards unifying the constantly warring tribes under a single banner, a vision few dared to imagine. Temujin's military genius began to shine. He didn't merely lead, he innovated. He developed revolutionary tactics that defied traditional steppe warfare. One such tactic was the feigned retreat, luring enemies into a false sense of victory before turning to encircle and annihilate them. He emphasized meticulous planning, swift execution, and unwavering discipline, transforming loosely organized tribal warriors into a formidable, coordinated fighting force. His methods were both brutal and brilliant, designed to break the enemy's spirit as much as their ranks. Beyond the battlefield, Temujin understood that true power required more than just military might. He instituted radical political reforms. He abolished the traditional inherited aristocratic titles, a system that had long fueled tribal divisions and inefficiencies. Instead, he promoted individuals based on their merit, loyalty, and proven capability, regardless of their birth or clan. This meritocratic system was revolutionary, breaking down old hierarchies and fostering a sense of shared purpose among his followers, creating an army and a society bound by loyalty rather than bloodline. As Temujin's power grew, his alliances were inevitably tested. The bonds with his blood brother Jamuka and his father figure Torul began to fray, strained by ambition and shifting loyalties. Jamuka, adhering to older tribal customs, resented Temujin's innovations and his rising popularity among the common folk. Torul, once a protector, grew increasingly wary and jealous of Temujin's success. The stage was set for devastating conflicts, not against foreign enemies, but against those he once called family. The inevitable clash with Jamuka culminated in a series of brutal battles. Temujin, though saddened, understood that unity required eliminating rival claims to leadership. His forces, more disciplined and loyal due to his reforms, ultimately prevailed. Jamuka was captured. In a poignant moment, Temujin offered his old friend a chance to rejoin him, but Jamuka refused, preferring death to submission. He requested a noble death, without shedding blood, and Temujin granted it, a testament to their complex, tragic bond. Torul, once a father figure, also turned against Temujin. The Kharait Khan, fearing Temujin's growing strength, attempted a surprise attack, but Temujin, ever vigilant, uncovered the plot. The ensuing war was fierce, pitting once allies against each other. Temujin's forces, now seasoned and cohesive, demonstrated their superiority. Torul was defeated and eventually killed by border guards who didn't recognize him, a bitter end for a once powerful Khan who had underestimated the young leader he had once mentored. With his primary rivals defeated and his reforms proving effective, Temujin had achieved the impossible, the unification of the often warring, fiercely independent Mongol tribes. By 1206 AD, after decades of struggle, alliances, betrayals, and battles, the entire Mongol nation, from the Siberian forests to the Gobi Desert, stood under his sole authority. This was not merely a military victory, but a profound political and cultural achievement, laying the foundation for an empire of unprecedented scale and influence. In that pivotal year of 1206, at a grand Kurultai or General Assembly, Temujin was formally proclaimed Genghis Khan. The title, meaning a universal ruler, was not merely a name but a declaration of his ambition and destiny. This moment marked the birth of the Mongol Empire and the transformation of a tribal leader into a world historical figure. He had not only united a people but also given them a common identity, purpose, and the organizational framework to achieve his monumental vision. Genghis Khan understood that an empire, even one built on conquest, required more than just military might to endure. He recognized the need for a unified system of governance and communication. To this end, he commissioned the creation of a written script for the Mongol language. This unprecedented step helped standardize administration, record laws, and foster a shared cultural identity across his vast and diverse territories, transforming a collection of oral traditions into a documented legacy. With the Mongols unified and strengthened, Genghis Khan turned his gaze outward. To the east lay the powerful, wealthy empires of China. To the west, the flourishing Muslim world of Central Asia. His first major foreign campaign was against the Western Xia dynasty, a Tangut kingdom located in what is today northwestern China. This was a crucial test of his unified army against established fortifications and larger, more sophisticated adversaries, a prelude to even grander conquests. The campaign against Western Xia, launched in 1209, was a challenging endeavor but ultimately successful. It allowed the Mongols to refine their siege warfare tactics and gain valuable experience against fortified cities. More importantly, it opened a strategic gateway for further incursions into the heart of China, setting the stage for his most ambitious conquests against the mighty Jin dynasty. The lessons learned in Xia would prove vital in overcoming the formidable defenses of the greater Chinese empires. The Jin dynasty, or Golden Dynasty, controlled vast territories in northern China, boasting a sophisticated military and immense wealth. In 1211, Genghis Khan launched his invasion, a truly audacious undertaking. His Mongol forces, though outnumbered, possessed superior mobility, discipline, and the strategic brilliance of their leader. The initial encounters showcased the Jin's formidable defenses, but also the relentless, adaptive nature of the Mongol war machine, marking the beginning of a long and devastating conflict. The ultimate prize in the Jin campaign was Zhongju, the Jin capital, known today as Beijing. Its massive walls and strong garrisons made it a formidable target. After a prolonged siege, marked by intense fighting and desperate measures, Zhongju finally fell to the Mongols in 1215. The sacking of the city was devastating, a clear message to all who resisted Genghis Khan's will. This victory not only secured vast territories and immense riches but also symbolized the collapse of old power structures in the face of Mongol might. Having secured his eastern flank, Genghis Khan turned his attention west, towards the thriving Islamic empire of Khwarizm, which encompassed much of modern-day Iran, Afghanistan, and Central Asia. Initially, Genghis sought peaceful trade relations, sending a large caravan and envoys. He aimed to establish commercial ties that would benefit his nascent empire. However, the Khwarezmian Shah, Ala ad-Din Muhammad II, viewed the Mongols with suspicion and disdain, setting in motion a tragic series of events. The Khwarezmian governor of Otrar, Inalchuk, confiscated the Mongol trade caravan's goods and executed its merchants, accusing them of espionage. When Genghis Khan sent a second group of envoys to demand restitution and an explanation, Shah Muhammad II, in an act of profound arrogance and defiance, executed the lead envoy and sent the others back with their beards shaved, a deliberate insult. This act ignited Genghis Khan's fury and signaled the end of any hope for peaceful coexistence. The stage was set for one of history's most devastating wars. In 1219, Genghis Khan unleashed the full might of his now seasoned Mongol army upon the Khwarezmian Empire. This was no mere conquest, it was an invasion born of righteous fury and a strategic imperative to punish defiance and secure trade routes. The Mongols' advance was swift and brutal, employing tactics that combined overwhelming force with psychological warfare, spreading terror ahead of their arrival. The Khwarezmian forces, though numerically superior, were unprepared for the Mongol speed, coordination, and utter ruthlessness. City after city fell to the Mongol onslaught. Bukhara, a center of Islamic learning, was sacked, its magnificent library burned. Samarkand, the jewel of Central Asia, met a similar fate, its sophisticated irrigation systems destroyed, turning fertile lands into deserts. Urgench, the Khwarezmian capital, endured a particularly brutal siege, ending in its complete devastation and the massacre of its inhabitants. The scale of destruction was unprecedented, reshaping the demography and geography of Central Asia for centuries. The campaign against the Khwarezmian Empire, concluding around 1221, had profound and unforeseen consequences. While it devastated vast swathes of Central Asia, it also irrevocably altered the geopolitical landscape, opening the doors for direct Mongol contact with Europe. The rapid collapse of this powerful Islamic empire left a void that would allow Mongol armies to push further west, leading to their eventual encounters with Russian principalities and the kingdoms of Eastern Europe. The world was about to become much smaller. By the height of his power, Genghis Khan had forged an empire of staggering proportions. It stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea, encompassing diverse peoples, cultures, and landscapes. This was not just an empire built on conquest, but one that facilitated the movement of goods, ideas, and people across vast distances. It became the largest contiguous land empire in history, a testament to one man's relentless vision and the disciplined force he commanded. Paradoxically, out of such devastation, a period of relative peace and prosperity emerged within the empire's borders. This Pax Mongolica facilitated an unprecedented resurgence of the Silk Road trade. Goods, technologies, and ideas flowed freely between East and West, fostering cultural exchange and economic growth. Genghis Khan also implemented the Yam postal system, a sophisticated network of relay stations that ensured rapid communication across his vast domains, a vital infrastructure for maintaining control and coherence. Another surprising aspect of Genghis Khan's rule was his policy of religious tolerance. While many conquerors imposed their own beliefs, Genghis allowed conquered peoples to maintain their religions, be they Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, or others. This pragmatism not only reduced internal dissent but also attracted skilled administrators and intellectuals from various backgrounds to serve his empire, further strengthening its diverse fabric and demonstrating a shrewd understanding of governance. After decades of relentless campaigning, Genghis Khan died in 1227. The exact cause of his death remains debated among historians. Some accounts suggest he fell from his horse during a hunt, others mention battle wounds, or even illness. Regardless of the specific cause, his passing marked the end of an era. The man who had united the Mongols and set them on a path of world conquest was gone, leaving behind an empire that was both formidable and fragile, poised on the brink of further expansion and internal division. In accordance with his wishes, Genghis Khan was buried in a secret, unmarked grave, its location remaining one of history's greatest mysteries. Legend says that those who knew the burial site were killed to protect its secrecy, and thousands of horses trampled the ground to erase any trace. This desire for an unmarked resting place reflects his nomadic roots and perhaps his understanding that true legacy lies not in monuments, but in the enduring impact of his actions on the world. Genghis Khan had meticulously planned for his succession, dividing his vast empire among his four primary sons, Jochi, Chagatai, Ojidai, and Tului. Each son inherited a iulus or territory, but all were expected to acknowledge the great Khan, a supreme leader chosen from among them. Ojidai was eventually chosen as the second great Khan, continuing his father's expansionist policies. This division, while ensuring continuity, also sowed the seeds of future internal conflicts that would eventually fragment the colossal empire. Genghis Khan's legacy is complex and deeply controversial. To many, he was a ruthless conqueror, responsible for unimaginable devastation and the deaths of millions. His campaigns led to widespread destruction, particularly in Central Asia and parts of China, leaving scars that lasted for centuries. Yet, he was also a brilliant strategist, an innovator in warfare and governance, and the architect of an empire that profoundly shaped the course of world history. His impact cannot be easily categorized, embodying both destruction and unexpected advancement. Perhaps one of the most astonishing aspects of Genghis Khan's legacy is his genetic footprint. Scientific studies estimate that approximately 16 million men alive today are direct descendants of Genghis Khan through his Y chromosome lineage. This makes him one of the most successful individuals in history, not just in terms of empire building, but in the sheer scale of his genetic contribution to the human population. His DNA literally echoes across continents and through generations, a silent testament to his monumental life. From a young boy named Temujin, abandoned and enslaved, to Genghis Khan, the universal ruler, his life story is a saga of extraordinary resilience, strategic brilliance, and unyielding ambition. He rose from nothing to create the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever seen, leaving an indelible mark on Asia, Europe, and the very genetic tapestry of humanity. His name continues to evoke awe and terror, a testament to the man who, for a time, almost ruled the world.